another episode of Chat with Chondee. Today is Wednesday, September 26, 2018. This video was inspired by a video from yesterday. Yesterday was Will Smith's 50th birthday. Most of us know Will Smith, the legendary actor, rapper, comedian. He wears many hats. So yesterday, September 25th, was his 50th birthday. Leading up to his 50th birthday, he was talking about he was going to be doing what's called a hella bungee. I never heard of this before. I was intrigued, and I followed him on social media, on his Instagram, as well as his recently new YouTube channel. And so I saw this leading up to, and I was interested. I watched the video yesterday, and it inspired me to make this video today. So you will see me look down from time to time at my notes, as I don't want to miss anything. So recently this year, he started his YouTube channel and joined social media. And I don't know if you've been watching it, but he's been giving out some very inspirational and motivational messages lately. And this one is no different. So he talks about a lot conquering your fears. One thing that he says that he does not like is to be scared. So when something scares him, he usually goes and does it so that it's not a fear of his any longer. So there were these group of guys that called themselves Yes Theory. And they challenged him to hella bungee. And what this is bungee jumping off of a helicopter while it's in flight. So they put you on the edge of the helicopter, and the helicopter takes off and it hovers over whatever the area is, and then you bungee from the helicopter. So yeah, sounds scary. It is. I don't think I would be doing that, or at least anytime soon anyway. So Will was challenged by these guys called Yes Theory to do it. He accepted the challenge and decided to do it over the Grand Canyon. Well, as he talks about it on his social media page, and if you go to his YouTube channel, he kind of went a little bit into more to, you know, how the guys reached out to him and him accepting the challenge and what have you. So I took it upon myself. I had never heard of Yes Theory before, so I looked them up. I found this article about them on this website called Metiza.com. It's METIZA.com. And Yes Theory came about. It's a group of 4 strangers that came together. One of the guys actually crashed a party, and he knew no one there, and he ended up creating a friendship with another guy. And I didn't see about how the other 2 came about. But anyway, they were all 4 strangers at one point. They became friends, and basically it started out with one of the guys deciding to do what he called a Project 30, where he was going to do 30 projects in 30 days, well, 30 challenges in 30 days. He wanted to push himself to live what he said would be a bigger, better, and more fully realized life. Because if there's no risk, there's no reward. And all of this I got off of the Metiza.com website. One of the guys' name is Amar. And Amar's words, he says, leaving behind the idea of safety for joy against all logic. He says that his focus shifted to being a better man of the 21st century and create inspiring real change, a life philosophy, and not just goofy videos. So it started out as just doing a few challenges, and then he realized it was much more than that. He goes on to say, by saying yes to joy, you are statistically more likely to achieve it more often that you do it. So it also led me to go to their actual website, which is yestheory.com. And on their website, they say, we believe that life can be as fulfilling and authentic as you wish, so long as you're willing to seek discomfort. And the 4 strangers who became friends bonded over the idea that life is best lived outside of your comfort zone. For anyone who's watching this that listens to a lot of audios or reads a lot of self-help books and things of that nature, any leadership readings or videos or conferences that you've been to, all of them say the same thing. Everything, and Will Smith has even said it on his site, on his YouTube and on his Instagram. Live outside of your comfort zone. And they believe this so much that that's the main message of their website. And they even started a clothing line called Seek Discomfort, which I love, because like I said, most of the self-help tools or leadership audios or books that I've listened to always say that, and they say that success leaves clues. So they're all saying that everything best that happens outside of your comfort zone. So with that being said, it spoke to me because lately I've been trying to do a lot of things that are outside of my comfort zone, or that I've wanted to do, or because fear held me back from doing it, I had not yet done it. So that's why this spoke to me so much. Also, once Will decided that he was gonna do this challenge, he said he thought back to when he was younger, and he's from Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where he spent most of his days. I know, I'm corny. But his family took an RV from there, going to California, and on the way they stopped at the Grand Canyon. Well, he says as he remembers it, they parked all the way up to the edge, and he was so scared. He was looking out and he was taking in this beautiful sight, but fear was keeping him from getting any closer, and he felt like he was gonna go over the edge. Well, as his family was there to support him, yesterday at the Grand Canyon, his mom was there, his sisters were there, his wife, children, even his ex-wife, his oldest son's mother was there as well. Everyone was there to support him. His mom mentioned to him, we weren't actually on the edge. There was quite some space between the car and the edge and where the cars could park, and you were never really in any actual danger of going over. So if you could think back to being a kid, things oftentimes seem bigger or worse than what they actually were. Or even now as an adult with fear, it can seem so much harder or difficult because of the fear that you have than what the reality actually is. So his mom kind of gave some perspective on that as they all gathered around him. And like I said, everyone was there to support him. One thing that I really liked was it was more like a show documenting what was going on as he was getting ready to prepare to go up in the helicopter, and showing you all who was there. The host who hosted the event was Alfonso Ribeiro. He played Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I really liked how he brought in his friend who played his cousin on the show, and that they're still close, and seeing their relationship, because that's something that with success that I like to see, when people bring others along who they see are also working towards certain goals or are good at certain things, and utilizing them as well, and just everyone being there for him like they were. Now, right after the jump, Jada said some things that were very inspiring, and that I felt just really drove it home as to why he even did it to begin with. That you can go on his Will Smith's YouTube, it's called Will Smith, and see the actual jump, and see the look on his face, his body language as he's standing on the edge of the helicopter, and right when they push him out, all of that is shown. The jump is shown after the jump. All of that is out there, so go check it out. But afterwards, and once he was reunited with his family, and everyone was hugging him and talking to him, and they're like, how do you feel and all of that, Jada says this. She says, and as she was sitting there with his ex-wife, who, if you all don't know the story, you should also check out Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talks that she does with her mom and her daughter. And she also had Will Smith's ex-wife on, and they have a beautiful blended family relationship. So she says this as they were sitting there. She says, this was a very spiritual moment, as the two of us have carried life for you, and this was such a dire situation where you could have died. Like that really spoke to me. We have carried life for you, and they see him now doing something to risk his. She says, we were covering him and emotionally being there for each other. And then she says to Will, she says, I saw the moment that you clicked and were determined and ready to do this, but when you jumped, I saw that moment of freedom. She said, I told Cherie, who's his ex-wife, we ain't gonna be able to tell this joker nothing in true Jada fashion. And as you know, Will, he seems to be a very confident guy, and just carries himself a certain way. And I can imagine now that he's gotten this out the way, it's kind of like that King Kong moment, beating your chest and just feeling a sense of pride. I know that's how it works for me when I've conquered a fear or something. And just the the joy and freedom and love in this moment, it just really radiated through the screen to me. And in classic Will Smith fashion, as he jumped and the bungee went and pulled him back up, you could, his arms were stretched out, and he was just like, ah, and it was just truly something to watch. And it was just, his arms were relaxed. I would have been probably holding on, I don't know, but he wasn't holding on. He was just free. He was living in that moment. Now Will, after the jump, had to say, he said, I forgot what I was supposed to say. And everybody's like what were you supposed to say? And he was like, Hillary, will you marry? And then everybody laughed, because if you are a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fan, you know why he said that, you know what happened from the show that's from. And so everybody was laughing, remembering back to that episode. And his final thoughts were this, and this is the part that kind of just brings it back in to let you know that this was much bigger than a bungee jump. And Jada mentioned it in what she said when she says, I could see when you were committed to it. Will said this when Alfonso asked him how he felt after the jump. He said, commitment. He said, life is hard. Yeah, you might get hurt. Your heart might get broken. You might lose your job. You still got to commit. He says, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You can't experience the joy that is intended for you in life if you don't go. I don't know about you, but that said something to me, and I'm going for it. I'm coming after everything that's mine, and I'm ready. So happy birthday to Will, and you guys go out and conquer your fears, and let me know. Let me know below what some of your fears are that you may have already conquered. And thanks for joining me for this episode of Chat with Chondee. Have a great day.